Okay, good day everyone. We are starting the recording of the video as promised, I would say. So, over to you, sir.
Like you said, as promised, and we believe you will be blessed as you engage with us on this platform. The platform again is transformed, and we believe you'll be transformed by interacting, by learning, asking questions, and yes, already I'm telling you, be encouraged. We enjoin you to ask questions in the comments, anything that comes to mind. It's a platform for learning and uh, learning for transformation. Any kind of learning, if we have the skill, if we have the know-how to answer such questions. But everything, we hope it's practical, and that's why we're making it much more uh, a podcast that responds to people's questions. Of course, there are times we'll come with topics to just give a treatise on, but we really want practical insights and information. So that's why we're going the direction of having questions put to us, and we doing our best to answer the questions from experience, from learning, from wise thinking, from scriptures, from you know, from it will do us well to actually discuss why should we learn, because one thing I found out is, and maybe this is a good maxim to start off with. You haven't heard it before, you're hearing it from me for the first time, and this is something I think I noticed about maybe 10 plus years ago, maybe 12, maybe even more than that. But one thing I noticed many years ago during my college, university days, is especially for young people, which I think is still going on even for people who should know better by now, is this. I kind of want to put it in a magazine. Many people have confidence in their knowledge, not in God per se. It may be their knowledge of God, but it's still in their knowledge, not in God. And I think that has been the motivation, the drive for learning for many people. They are learning to know, and they want to know so they can, feel good about themselves, so they can take confidence in their knowledge. Their confidence moves slightly away from God to their knowledge in God, even if it's about God, but it's their knowledge of God, not so much God in God Himself, but in their knowledge. So I think it's always good to clarify why we're learning. And maybe this is the first point I would like to make. You know, there is the world of just imagination where you can think about things for the thinking sake, for exploration sake. Just you want to, you know, explore in your mind. Life is an adventure, and you can take intellectual adventures also. It's okay, it's fine. If you want to take intellectual adventures, it's fine. But let's remind ourselves that the primary reason why we think is to reflect on living, on life itself, so that we can do it in the best way. Let's get that right. The whole point, or the primary reason for reasoning, for thinking, is to reflect on whatever you are thinking about, to be sure, is this the best way to go about it. So again, the purpose for thinking is to be able to lead better, if I can put it that way. When we, maybe this is another way to say it to make the point even stronger. What distinguishes humans from animals? In a lot of ways, we are like animals. Sexual appetite, appetite for food. We want to drink water just as they want to. You know, there are so many ways the human uh, being overlaps with animals, and scientists would probably say we are animals and call us higher animals. So in a lot of ways, we are just like every other creature of God. What distinguishes the human creature, and it's that ability to really take a step back and reflect on everything. That's one key thing that distinguishes humans from other creatures of God. Humans can take a step back and think about and reflect on that aspect of life and see ways in which it can be improved. And that is why humans have changed the world we live in far more than any other creature has changed it. Uh, uh, every creature kind of lives in an ecosystem, and humans also live in the ecosystem, but we actually try to change the ecosystem that we live in. We all know about civilizations that have come and gone. The buildings we live in today are not the buildings people lived in 100 years ago, and certainly not the buildings people lived in or structures people lived in or stayed in, did their activities in 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago. Humans are able to take a step back and reflect and ask the question, is this the best way to go about it? Is there something else that could be done about it? What other thing am I missing? What other thing do I need to pay attention to? So that ability for humans to take a step back and reflect on each and every aspect of life is a key differentiator for the human creature. And the reason for that ability is given so that we can live life better, not just so we can wax intellectual, not just so we can show off our mental prowess. It's so we can live life better. And there are so many examples to point to. Even for other creatures, we can make life better for other creatures by engaging that same ability that God has given us. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you've seen this video. If you're on YouTube, you probably have come across it. There are these animals that maybe their ecosystem has changed, but their horns continue to grow.
Good,
I
yes.
guess their ecosystem would normally provide stuff that keep it wearing off so that it doesn't overgrow. But for whatever reason, maybe the ecosystem has changed.
Maybe there are trees that they can break it off on,
Yeah,
and there are no more trees.
yeah, maybe stuff like that. And you find that their horns are growing into their
Into their
skulls
skull.
and leading to their death. Now, some of those goats, bucks that have that happen to them, who happen to be around humans, humans have helped in helping to trim those off. You know, look at horses. Humans can help treat horses and do all manner of things. So that ability that God has given to human creatures is to serve the whole creation. And maybe that already leads us to Genesis. Maybe that's a good place to stop. In the next video, we'll discuss how that point actually leads to Genesis and what we can learn from Genesis. Thank you. Again, we're getting started. Hope you subscribe and keep in touch. You have a lot to learn here.